And welcome back to the Ed Show. This is the story for the folks who take a shower after work. Republicans in the state of Ohio are leading the way when it comes to voter suppression, no doubt about it. And the latest move to suppress the vote in that state is a measure Governor John Kasich signed, banning county boards of elections from sending out absentee ballot applications to all registered voters. A state House amendment would have imposed a 10% cut in funding on any county that sends out unsolicited absentee ballot applications. Talk about an attack on voting. Republicans claimed it would promote uniformity across the state. Cayuga County executive and Democratic candidate for governor Ed Fitzgerald, well, he saw it differently, which is why Fitzgerald sent a letter to the Justice Department requesting a federal investigation into Republicans using county funds as a political bargaining chip.
When people try to bully you, you need to stand up to them. And when people say they're going to cut 10% of your funds if you exercise your rights that you're guaranteed under the Ohio Constitution, Home Rule, and the federal Constitution, they're the ones that are escalating it. And our job is to send them a very clear message that we're not going to stand still for this.
Well, it looks like the message was received because hours later, House Republicans pulled the measure. Apparently, Governor John Kasich told House GOP leaders he wanted the provision out of his off-year budget bill. Secretary of State John Husted threw his Republican colleagues under the bus, saying the unprecedented threat of a 10% cut was unnecessary. Husted told the Columbus Dispatch, our constituents don't need to suffer in any way for the bickering going on over this issue. Joining me tonight, Ohio State Senator Nina Turner, who is running against John Husted for Secretary of State in the state of Ohio. Senator, good to have you with us tonight. When I saw this story and all this unfolding in Ohio, I thought this is the ultimate of voter suppression. That they are actually going to tell counties, if you mail absentee ballots out and get them into the hands of the voters, we're going to cut your funding. I mean, this just shows that there are no boundaries, are there?
That's right, Ed. They will stop at nothing to suppress the vote, even threatening the citizens of counties in our state. And Cuyahoga County's leadership did the right thing to step up and say, we will mail out those unsolicited absentee ballot because we believe in pro-voter, unlike the GOP. But what they were doing, what they were attempting to do by threatening Cuyahoga County in that way is really upset the quality of life of the citizens of that county, 1.3 million of them. But they don't care about the quality of life of the citizens in Cuyahoga County or any other county in this state. To be honest with you, Ed, they've already slashed the local government fund budget by about $1 billion already. And then to launch that kind of threat just because you don't want the county to be pro-voter, something is wrong with that, Ed. And they make no mistake about it. They are anti-voter and they will stop at nothing to suppress the vote. Well,
both the governor and Husted, the Secretary of State, did a reversal on this. It's almost as if they got caught because of the pushback on all of this. They thought this might have been a bridge too far. What is your take what's your response to that?
Well, they can't run from their record, though. This legislature, this GOP-controlled legislature, is their legislature. This is the governor's legislature, and this is Secretary of State John Husted's legislature. So they can't run from the voter suppression bills that have already passed, that the governor has already signed. What this legislature has done in terms of hurting absentee ballot application submission throughout the state, taking away early voting days in this state, putting up more hurdles to be able to discount provisional ballots. They wear this. It is their party that is doing this. So just because they might seem like they got a little religion on this one does not excuse all the other voter suppression measures that they have agreed with and also wanted to have happen in the state. And the voters are going to have to stand up in November.
It seems to me that they were going to go until you stopped them. I mean, the fact is that they got away with the Golden Week. They made those changes there on early voting and registration. Yes. But it's interesting that Husted told the Columbus Dispatch, he says, I think it's time to stop playing games and resolve the issue like reasonable adults. I mean, that is damage control as I see it.
It is, Ed, but he went a step further and said there's no need to do this because the auditor will take care of Cuyahoga County if they decide to break the law, so to speak. So he went a step further to say that don't worry about it. The auditor will get them. And again, that's wrong. What he should have done was stood up very clearly to say that absolutely, unequivocally, what the GOP and this General Assembly is doing and has done is wrong. Not to try to sic the current auditor on Cuyahoga County because they are pro-voter.
And, of course, they're talking already about changing more laws after this session that will affect 2016. I mean, it's almost as if they're taking orders from outside the state. This is how you got to run Ohio if we're going to win the White House in 2016.
Well, Ohio is a swing state, and so they have shown what they would do in 2012. You know, this current Secretary of State appealed all the way to United States Supreme Court to take away the last 3 days of early voting. He fired 2 Board of Elections members. They lost their job for trying to expand early voting.
Wow.
The voters have got to come out and show in the state of Ohio that we want to be the gold standard and that we will not stand for any elected official standing in the way of making sure that one woman, one man, one vote is the order of the day.
And tomorrow night here on The Ed Show, we're going to show you exactly how far some people in Hamilton County will have to go to vote. An hour and a half of travel if this measure goes through. That's tomorrow right here on The Ed Show. Ohio State Senator Nina Turner, great to have you with us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed.
And that's The Ed Show. I'm Ed Shultz. Politics Nation with Reverend Al Sharpton starts right now. Good evening, Rev.
Good evening, Ed.